When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. That's why there's Understood.org, a free resource for the parents of the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues. Go from misunderstanding to Understood.org. Brought to you by Understood and the Ad Council.
And it's a beautiful day here at the Search Engine and
Live from the Center Right Radio Studios in Tempe, Arizona, the Chips and Salsa Show. Conservative conversation, picoso, not mocoso, with Don Jorge Ortiz and Alicia Lara. George, former California Democrat union man turned legislative GOP chairman.
And Alice, former New Mexico Democrat turned legislative GOP district state committee woman.
Together, they are your Chips and Salsa Show hosts.
Get your guac on. Now with George Ortiz and Alice Lara.
And we are back once again, George. It's Saturday. We're doing the Chips and Salsa Show. Dun, da, da, da. We're here every Saturday, 4 p.m. I'm Alice Lara with
Don Jorge Alacran.
And as you just heard, we're two Latino Republicans giving you our perspective, current events, headline news,
and comedy.
We try our best. Don't always succeed. We try our best. We have a great show. We're going to get rapid fire real soon. Right. Our first guest is going to be Dr. Kelli Ward, who is running for the U.S. Senate. Welcome, Dr. Kelli Ward.
Hey, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. It's always great to be here, especially in studio with you all.
Our new Center Right Radio studio that we just moved to.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So we're going to bring her on in just a couple of minutes, and what we're also going to do later on. Okay, George has a sneeze, so he's going to. There we go. That's a nice sound effect. Great. What we're going to do is bring on the Prather Point first. I want to give kudos to our technical director who's behind the screen there, and that is Super Sexy Steve back there making America strong again. And I want to wish, too, we don't want to forget, just in case the show's going to be so fast, it is Mother's Day weekend, so happy Mother's Day to everybody out there. We appreciate all that you do. In the second segment also, we have a dynamite guest. I just found out, George, there are 4 candidates for Congressional District 2, and that's one of your opponents, Martha McSally, Congresswoman Martha McSally. And we have one of the candidates coming in at 4:30, and that's Danny Morales. He's also going to double as our military moment, so it's going to be a full show.
Very interesting.
Yeah, so shall we go ahead and just get started with the Prather Point so we can get this thing going, George? What do you say? All right. Steve, if you are ready, we're going to go with Fast and Furious whistleblower, our man with a pulse on the dark state, Jeff Prather with the Prather Point.
Ex-government insider, now living outside the box, speaking truth to power on the Chips and Salsa Show on Center Right Live with this week's Prather Point. The Trump Triumph Tour just continues to roll. His latest, greatest achievement is the release of 3 Americans from North Korea after years of captivity, and the beginning of diplomatic relations with North Korea, with whom South Korea is still at war with. And by the way, I was stationed in South Korea when I was a military intelligence major. So this is huge, but you won't hear about it in the propaganda press, just like you won't hear about the tax cuts, just like you won't hear about the rollback of ridiculous federal regulations, just like you won't hear about the destruction of ISIS, all under President Trump's regime. Why? Well, the reason is twofold. First, the religion of the left is human secularism with a dash of communism and socialism mixed in. And if you do not believe the religion, then you are a heretic and you must be burned at the stake. This religion includes its sacrament of abortion, the murder of the unborn. It includes putting illegals before American citizens. It includes the concept that an all-knowing leftist government is wonderful, even though this is not what the left used to be for. Those are some of the major points, but understand that it is their religion. The second reason is, if they do not continue to focus on these ridiculous stories, the latest one being the New York Times saying that Trump's top diplomat was hundreds of miles away when he should have been focusing on issues at home. Of course, he was there negotiating the historic, groundbreaking conference with North Korea. And it's just absurd, and no one else believes it, but they have to do that. Otherwise, they will start to hear stories that will eventually put them all in jail, such as the story I told you earlier that the FBI shot a bound hostage they were trying to rescue, or the 2014 story that the CIA spied on Congress, and that the Obama administration likely spied on Trump, as Trump said, and that the DOJ is totally out of control and has become, as I've said for a long time now, the FBI. Assistant Arizona Attorney General Holder perjuring himself multiple times under oath in the Rosen co-conspirator in Fast and Furious. Lynch taking the Fifth Amendment before Congress. The FBI not releasing memos to Congress that Comey leaked to the press. This is the absurdity of big government by the left, and it is crumbling. That's the good news. This is Jeff Prather on the Chips and Salsa Show with this week's Prather Point. If you're interested in attending Prather and Pizza coming up, it's June 2nd in Tucson. Call 520-241-7690.
And that was a really, really good Prather point, don't you think so, George? He hit everything, covered all the bases. And I wanted to play that because there was so much in there, and it was a great way to start off our interview with Dr. Kelly Ward. Welcome. We're so glad to have you in studio. I'm wearing my little tag just
I love
for
it.
you.
The Ward button. You've got the large rectangular version, which is very well seen by many, many people. We've got several versions, but they are all in bright sunny yellow and patriotic red, and I'd love to see more and more people wearing those.
I want to tell you, just this week, George, I had the honor of being on a panel, and we got to ask questions of Dr. Kelly Ward on pro-life issues. And Tina, one of your gals, gave me a little pin, so that was so exciting. And thank you for letting me do this. I also want to thank you on air, too. One of the things that I received in the mail, George was so nice. He brought the actual award to me. I was precinct committeeman for my LD, and I had a nice little note, as did Steve got one, too. And that was really super. I was like, wow, she actually signed this, too.
Yeah, we wanted to thank all of the PCs of the year from all of the Maricopa County legislative districts, because all of our PCs work hard, but there are always some that rise to the top, and you and Steve are two of them.
Well, thank you. We really appreciate it. It was nice. It was a nice touch. So way to go on that. All right. Let's see. In case you haven't been watching our show, or you're not in Arizona, because this goes out all over the United States, Dr. Kelly Ward is running for the U.S. Senate seat here in Arizona. Jeff Flake was going to be running, and I don't know, somehow he's not running anymore.
Right. I think that 30 points that I was up on him in October finally convinced him that he was not going back to the United States Senate. And, we've been working very hard to secure not only the Republican nomination, but to go into the general election in November in a very strong position so that I can win, can become the next senator, and can get to Washington, D.C. and get the work done, because that's what's been missing. There have been lots of elections and lots of promises and lots of campaign conservatism that's going on the campaign trail. What's missing is the work that gets done in Washington. And I think that my record of results, speaks for itself. I think that's why people want me to go to D.C. and go to work for you.
Well, and I can certainly tell you, we had an event last weekend, a little park event for our LD, and your team was there. You had another big event that you had to go to. But, man, we had ward people and ward signs. I also should acknowledge she has her wonderful husband right next, Mike.
Yes, you see our outfits. We were outdoor knocking in South Phoenix today for several hours, and really converting people over to Team Ward if they weren't already on. We had several that we knocked on the door, and they said, "Oh, yeah, we're behind you." I had a guy that said, "Hey, I don't know if I should vote for you or I should vote for McSally. Tell me the differences." And so we went over some of the differences, and he's already donated money. He's already volunteered to put up signs. He is definitely on Team Ward. So that door knocking, the good retail politics, the old style, get to know your neighbors because you want to represent them, really does work.
Oh, absolutely old school. Well, let's go to some issues, or maybe give like a 30-second bio, just in case there's people out there that don't know you. Plus, if you're watching from another state, but you support conservatism and you want more Republicans and you'd like to support Kelly, don't be afraid to send her some gas money, right?
That's exactly right.
You can some help. So go ahead and give your little quick bio.
Right, because even people in other states, even though they can't vote for me, what they have to understand is that when I'm in the United States Senate, I'm going to be voting for them with each and every vote, with the things that they would like to see in Washington.
Thumbs up.
That's right. Thumbs up right here. Make America great again. And you see that right there. We got to make America great again with our great president. And, so a little bit about me. I am a military wife. Mike and I have been married for almost 23 years.
Pretty soon.
Yep, pretty soon in July. And he served honorably for 33. We were proud to celebrate Military Spouses Appreciation Day. Thank you, Mr. President, for making that yesterday. If you want to see the picture, it is a pretty handsome picture of my husband, I have to say. Go to @KellyWardAZ on Twitter, and you can see that photo
All
and
of
get
his
involved.
medals.
He's got his ribbons and his, he just looks beautiful. He's in his mess dress, very handsome, looks, tall, dark, and handsome. He looks great. And we have 3 awesome kids, Katie, Cameron, and Nick. I'm a family physician, owned my own practice for over 10 years in Lake Havasu. Worked in a community health center, worked in the emergency department, got to see in the trenches the safety net of healthcare in our state and in our country. And then I ran for the Arizona State Senate and was elected pretty resoundingly to go there, and became very, very effective when I was there. In the last year alone, I got 19 bills of my own signed into law, as well as 18 that I co-sponsored. I just found that out this week that I've had 18 more. Wow. So 37 bills that I worked on in 2015 became law. And the only way you do that is by putting forward excellent policy, getting both sides of the aisle to buy in, and then navigating that swampy process of the lawmaking, getting it, in my case, from the Senate to the House and to the executive, and those great ideas got put into action, and we actually got results. People want results. That's what they get with President Trump. That's what they're going to get with me. And I just think it will be an unstoppable team once I get to Washington.
Well, we know that Kelly certainly has the energy. And pardon me, because I'll go back and I'll call you Dr. Kelly, Dr. Kelly Ward, whatever. I just want people to know all the different hats that you wear. I always just think of her as Kelly, though,
yes,
because I've known you for so long now.
Well, I think that if we truly want government of, for, and by the people, we have to elect people who are of the people. And so Kelly, of course, obviously is very, very appropriate. You can call me doctor, you can call me senator. The one that's the hardest to keep, that will never be, that could be taken away if you don't do the right thing, is Mrs. And so Mrs. Ward is one that is
yourself.
It takes the most work, to keep, because I'll always have doctor, I'll always have senator, and I know in my heart I'll always have Mrs. as well.
There you go. Congratulations. And we're so glad that Mike came in with you as well. Okay, let's talk about some issues. The release of those guys from North Korea. Yes. That was pretty darn awesome. And our poor president, you hardly see it on the news. You have to really dig and dig.
Right. Oh, it is a shame the way the news covers what's happening in the country, because so many amazing things are happening. And that one of the most important tenets of the platform that I'm running on is making sure that our military is strong and that we take care of our veterans. Well, the reason for that is because we want peace through strength. And that's what we're seeing. This last week was a great example of peace through strength, because we took a strong position with North Korea. We got those hostages released. We have peace talks coming up to potentially denuclearize the Korean Peninsula, possibly even reunite North and South Korea. We got out of the disastrous, dangerous Iran deal. And all of that happened because the United States is strong. When we're strong, the world is a better place. And so it takes outlets like yours and Facebook and Twitter so that we can get the word out about what's really happening and people can escape from the fake news.
Absolutely. Good job. Okay. I also wanted to, you listened to the Prather Point a little bit. I hope you got to listen to him. And one of the things that Jeff Prather, he is a Fast and Furious whistleblower, yes, and he kind of got done dirty, okay? But for a very long time, he has always said the FBI is a KGB. And unfortunately, more and more, we're getting little things that are coming out, and we're thinking, oh my gosh, what is this, Russia sometimes? So, the good thing is that it's coming out.
Yes.
So I have no problem with that. And you keep seeing it. But again, you have to dig. You have to know what news sources to go to.
Yes.
And I'm sure you're going to be working that's on one of your missions, right?
Of course. You know, we have to expose all corruption, you know, all levels of corruption in our government. If we want to have, we want people to have faith in our government, that they're doing the right things. And when we're seeing what's happening with the FBI, the upper echelons, the political appointees.
Yeah, we know some FBI agents, actually pretty high-ranking FBI agents. They're disgusted
yes.
with what's coming out
yes.
from the talk.
And those good ones, they're the ones that still keep the ball rolling.
That's right.
And you know, it's
That's right.
They're the
otherwise.
hard workers.
Yes, they are. Well, you have to be able to have people who are going to be light shiners. I know that when I go there, I'm going to be a light shiner, and I'm glad to see that there are light shiners that are exposing what's been going on. Just imagine if Hillary Clinton had become, I mean, I know you don't want to imagine it, neither do
right,
I, but
I'm
if she
going
had,
there.
I know, if she had become the president.
It would have been swept under the
That's
rug.
right. It wouldn't have just been swept under the rug. It would have been wiped with bleach bit, just like her cell phone was and her computers were. It would be completely gone.
They used a hammer on the cell
Yes.
phones.
Oh, that's true, a hammer on the cell phones. But it would be just... It's unbelievable what they were trying to hide and what they were trying to pull over on the American people that was making us into not the free country that enjoys liberty and understands that we have God-given rights to privacy, as well as our Second Amendment, our First Amendment, but to privacy in this case, that were completely violated from the president on down.
Absolutely. Okay, we got more stuff to talk about. Don't go away. We're going to be right back. I'm Alice Latta with George Ortiz. We're talking to Dr. Kelly Ward, U.S. Senate candidate for Arizona, and her husband Mike. Don't go away. You want to get your guac on with more chips and salsa.
Sorry.
When I broke my foot, for leaving me alone when I wanted to be alone.
And now, as a grown-up, I'm thankful for being able to take care of you, my dear mom, for taking you to your therapies, for understanding that sometimes you simply want to be alone.
Roles change without us noticing. That's why AARP gives you the information to provide even better care for your loved one. Visit aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
When I was little, I didn't talk for a long time. I was sensitive to lights and sounds, so I built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. Sometimes I do the same things over and over, until one day I found out I had autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Did you know that Center Right Radio is looking for new programming? Contact us today at centerright.live. Center Right Radio is now accepting new advertisers. Get in touch with us today at centerright.live.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
You've accidentally cut your daughter's bangs unevenly. Do you A, line things up a centimeter from her hairline?
Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man.
No. Sweatbands are so hot right now. Everyone's wearing them. Like that basketball player and that other basketball player.
B, get spiritual.
Mom, where did all the mirrors go?
A reflection could never capture our true selves.
Huh?
Beauty is within.
C, look on the bright side.
Less time blow drying, more time texting.
Or D, show empathy.
Mom, you really don't have
Ta-da! Twinsies!
I kinda love it. As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org/AZ. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Thank you for listening to Center Right Radio.
We are back with more of the Chips and Salsa Show. We're here every Saturday at 4 p.m. My name is Alice Latta with
Don Jorge, the deplorable one. Hillary's deplorable.
The Alacran Scorpion.
I'm so proud to be a deplorable this week.
Yes, absolutely.
He captured 5 ISIS,
yes,
the top ISIS leaders this week, and the news didn't.
Yeah, where was that? Where the hell was That's why you have to listen to the Chips and Salsa Show or watch us. By the way, you can go on Facebook and go to Center Right Radio. It's a brand new Facebook site, and you can share it from there. We just put it on the Chips and Salsa Facebook site also. That way you can see, and we have Dr. Kelly Ward's lovely campaign sign up here. Please share it with your friends. If you haven't liked our page, please like our page. We're hitting like a 2,000 likes, so you know what? We're not like it. What are you, Dr. Ward?
We're right on the verge of 100,000. I don't know exactly where we're less than 50 away from 100,000.
Some game plan.
And it is funny because I can remember when I first started the page and I was telling people, we're almost to 100, and then you're almost to 1,000. And to think that we're almost to 100,000 people that like the page, that regularly interact. We have great engagement on the page, which most politicians or people in the political arena just don't. And I'm very proud of that. And it took a lot of work to build it to where it is, because we didn't buy likes. We didn't buy fake profiles to look like we're something that we're not. And I think that that's why we have such good two-way communication there on the social media platforms, on Facebook and on Twitter. I'm not very good on Instagram, but we do have one. And we have a YouTube. You know, we've got all of those. But the best, I think, are our Facebook page and our Twitter account.
Social media is so important, and I kind of was watching that, and you have the highest, and then, I think then it's Arpaio, and I think McSally's in third place.
Yeah, I think it's because I actually interact with the people myself, and a lot of people just have a staffer. They have a 21 or 22-year-old digital person that runs their Facebook, and people can tell. I think people are looking for someone honest, someone authentic, and someone accessible to represent them in Washington, D.C. We haven't had that in Arizona for far too long with Senator Flake and Senator McCain, and we're getting a new senator come 2018, and I think that as more and more people hear from me and meet me and develop that relationship that they want to see, that's lasting not just on the campaign trail but throughout the time that I'm going to be serving in Washington, they really are excited about the changes that can come to Washington for Arizona.
Well, and we're out there in the political world a lot, and
Yes.
I see you everywhere at the pro-life little thing that we had on Wednesday or Thursday night. I can't remember now. I think it was Wednesday. You said something really interesting, because I think you said you're going to limit yourself to 2 terms.
Yes.
And also, we haven't had that many senators.
Right, we've had 12 senators in our history as a state. Now, we're a relatively young state, I guess,
True.
but 12, that's it. And so we're gonna do this. And so whenever people listen, I consider it part of a job interview, and I want them to hire me, not just to be their U.S. senator, but actually to be you in Washington, to be your voice, to be your backbone, to be the person that brings your ideas to the table at the national level, so that we can take those ideas and we can put them into action to work not just for you, but for everybody in our communities, in our state, in our nation, and even on some of the things that we're working on in the world.
Absolutely. Okay, I know time is short because you have to get out of here. So I want to give you the opportunity. You were out walking today.
Yes.
There's all kinds of stuff, and that you probably think, I hope people, I really want to tell them about this.
Right.
So you go for it.
All right. Well, I describe myself as a liberty-loving, constitutional, conservative Republican. So if people love liberty and they don't want big government and they want to follow the Constitution and look at the Republican platform and it resonates with them, I am the candidate for you. I'm going to be focusing on the America First agenda that Donald Trump ran on in 2016, things that include securing the border, stopping illegal immigration, and building the wall. Build the wall. Fully repealing Obamacare. That's right, fully repealing Obamacare and getting the free market back into healthcare, so that we don't just have a piece of paper that says we have insurance, but we actually have real care. I'm happy to see the president working on the cost of prescription drugs. You can go on my Twitter as well and find out a little bit more about that, but that's a great place to be working. The opioid crisis, I've got so much that I can add in the healthcare arena. Number 3, the economy, and continuing to grow the economy and making sure that we we have more money in our pockets every day because our taxes are lower. That's very, very important. And we have to couple that with the other side of the coin, which is spending cuts. And Republicans haven't wanted to cut spending, many of them. I mean, especially my opponent, Martha. She and Kyrsten Sinema both voted for the omnibus bill, and that omnibus bill had so many poison pills, including $500 million, $500 million for Planned Parenthood. That is a poison pill I'm not going to swallow. It fully funded Obamacare. It built walls and borders in the Middle East, but not one new dollar of funding here in the United States for our wall. So we've got to cut spending, and we've got to stop. We have the House, the Senate, and the White House as Republicans. We've got to bring that fiscal sanity to Washington. And then last is the military and our veterans, and making sure we're taking care of them. I read a very poignant story on Twitter today about a veteran whose private physician stopped taking TRICARE. So he had to go to the VA, and he was treated horrifically there. And that's got to stop. We've got to deliver on our promises to our veterans. If you want someone that's strong on the Constitution, our First Amendment, religious freedom, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom of the press, the Second Amendment, I am a staunch supporter of the Second Amendment, endorsed by Gun Owners of America and the National Association for Gun Rights, life member of the NRA and the AZCDL, and a fierce fighter for our privacy, then I am definitely who you want to work for you in Washington, and actually to be you, to be your voice, to be your backbone, and to be your platform for great ideas in D.C. We want to see AZ in D.C., not D.C. and AZ.
I think you just cut like the best commercial for your campaign. You know, I just thought of something real quick on the health. One of the things as far as health insurance, what I would like to see, all the money that I spend on my health care, by health insurance premiums and all that, I would love to see that be tax deductible.
Oh, yes.
Well, and Arizona does a good job with that. The state of Arizona, I would like to see that on a federal level.
Well, I think we should be able to put as much money away, tax-free, into a health savings account that we see fit. Why should it go into the black hole of the government or the deep pockets of the insurance industry? We should be able to use our money for what we want, whether that's regular traditional medicine that most people get, or alternatives like acupuncture or massage therapy or see a naturopath. All of those are very, very important.
Looks like you have a question, George.
I forgot it.
Oh, come on, George.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'm leading in the polls, 36, 27, 22 in the primary.
Wow.
And we're seeing that elongate. I'm extending my lead. Joe's kind of falling to, down a bit. Martha just stays where she is because that's pretty much her ceiling, about 27, 30%. And I am the best positioned to win in the general. So whenever you hear the establishment talking about who the electable candidate is in November, it's Dr. Kelly Ward. So don't let them try to fool you. That's the truth.
You mentioned about VA and the helping the VA. Kyrsten Sinema, when she ran, that was one of her biggest things she got in front of the VA, and it was like, because at that time the VA was really, really messed up. Mm-hmm. So she used that.
That was after she protested the military after 9/11?
Right, after she protested. And I remember
just
that
a little reminder
too.
there.
But, some of us veterans remember that.
Yeah, but see, people looked at that and they go, oh, well, she's going to help. She never did follow through.
No, it's all talk, no action cinema. It's political cinema. Political theater, she is political cinema. Anything that you see that tries to make her appear moderate is just a game of smoke and mirrors. So we can't buy into it. We as Republicans have to expose her for the radical, leftist, progressive that she is, and we will win decisively in November as long as we have the right candidate, a candidate that inspires, that energizes, that motivates, a candidate that will bring the heat to drain the swamp, and that's what I'm going to do. Bring the heat to drain the swamp.
And I love that. And you are, this woman, Sinema, she is a professional politician, and she just, that's her thing.
And I'm glad
I get emails every day from her still.
Yeah, we've got a comparison. We've got it up on social media as well to compare what I do and to what she has done or not done. Also, we've got a great page at Team Kelly Ward, so Kelly with an I, and it's one from the campaign on social media that has been really exposing Sinema for what she is. So people should go there, like that page, and share that content so people know the real Kirsten, not the political cinema that she wants us to believe.
I cannot believe our time is up. I do want to mention, though, we do have Martha McSally has an invitation. We still haven't heard from her yet. So thank you very much for coming in. I'm sorry you have to go.
Thanks.
Please come back again. Thank
we're
you,
glad
Mike,
to
for
be here,
coming in.
and you're going to love hearing from Danny DJ Morales. He's a really good guy. Yeah.
Awesome. Great. Well, thank you so much, and good luck on the campaign trail. Dr. Kelly Ward, running for U.S. Senate in Arizona. And thank you, Mike, her husband.
Great. Thank you.
Mr.
Thanks for
Ward.
letting me hang out.
Thanks. All right. Have a great day, and come back for the rest of Chips and Salsa show. And our next guest is Danny Morales, running in Congressional District 2.
Thank you, my mommy, for loving me so much.
For taking me to the doctor when I broke my foot. For leaving me alone when I wanted to be alone.
And now, as a grown-up, I'm thankful for being able to take care of you, my dear mom, for taking you to your therapies, for understanding that sometimes you simply want to be alone.
Roles change without us noticing. That's why AARP gives you the information to provide even better care for your loved one. Visit aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
When I was little, I didn't talk for a long time. I was sensitive to lights and sounds, so I built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. Sometimes I did the same things over and over, until one day I found out I had autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Did you know that Center Right Radio is looking for new programming? Contact us today at centerright.live. Center Right Radio is now accepting new advertisers. Get in touch with us today at centerright.live.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
You've accidentally cut your daughter's bangs unevenly. Do you A, line things up a centimeter from her hairline?
Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man.
No. Sweatbands are so hot right now. Everyone's wearing them. Like that basketball player and that other basketball player.
B, get spiritual.
Mom, where did all the mirrors go?
A reflection could never capture our true selves.
Huh?
Beauty is within.
C, look on the bright side.
Less time blow drying, more time texting.
Or D, show empathy.
Mom, you really don't have
Ta-da! Twinsies!
I kinda love it. As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org/AZ. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Thank you for listening to...
And we're back. Oh my goodness, the third segment already of the Chips and Salsa Show. I'm Alice Lara, your co-host with...
Don Jorge El Alacran.
He is the Alacran, the Scorpion Man King. Hey, we have a really great guest coming up now, and it's a Fast and Furious show. Chipsters, we really appreciate your patience and listening with us. Remember to share us on Facebook. Go to Chips, letter N, Salsa Show. Also, we have a new Facebook site, Center Right Radio. Just go to Center Right Radio. You can share the broadcast there as well. Okay, our next wonderful guest is Danny DJ Morales. I'm looking at this right here, okay. Danny DJ Morales. He is running in Congressional District 2 of Arizona, and this is actually Congresswoman McSally's district.
Yes, ma'am.
So he's a Republican candidate. Welcome to the show, sir.
Well, thank you, Alice. Thank you, Don Jorge. And buenas tardes. It's great to be here. Good afternoon to all your listeners and those who are watching on Facebook Live. Shout out to my family, my beautiful wife, Marta, my boys, Danny Boy and Michael, and my parents, too, as well.
Oh,
God bless
Danny
you.
Boy, how cute. I also should mention, too, we have, are you the campaign manager, Sean?
I am. Yes, this is Sean Keegan to my left here. He is my my loyal better half on the political side of things. Yes, he really does complete me politically. So
Nice. It takes a lot to run a campaign, boy. So I'm going to give a quick rundown here from this nice, wonderful little slip that you gave me. So let me give you about his background in service. And you are actually, you're doubling duty because you're a military moment. We try to do a military moment each week and honor our guys and gals. So you're born and raised in Congressional District 2. Douglas Vice Mayor and City Councilman, so you have some political background. 12-year active duty Navy veteran, Tucson-based Navy reservist since 2011, Cochise County Sheriff's Deputy, Tucson Police Department trained, substitute teacher, youth pastor, City Council advisor, Pima and University of Arizona graduate, executive board for the Southeastern Arizona Government's organization called SEGO. You got a lot of stuff here, man. Okay, binational relations and experience, science and technology, community and media, and just all kinds of good stuff here. We have to ask our first question always, ¿Por qué? Why are you running?
Why am I running? Awesome. Well, 3 things that your audience should know about me is that we're family, number 1. Number 2, I'm ready. And number 3, we're going to win. That first point goes to your question. Why? Because we're family. When you see a need with your family, you take care of a need for your family. And so I feel that I'm best qualified to serve my family. My family has needs. We need jobs. We need our border protected. We need our youth to be retained. We have a talent pool that's being drained as soon as they graduate from the community college or they graduate from the U of A, which is my alma mater. They leave in staggering percentages. I want jobs for those young people. I want jobs for our working families. I want opportunities. And I want our border protected. And it's something that I know personally. I live 3 blocks from the border. Yesterday we did a Facebook Live episode where we walked in my former ward that representative distance from a street all the way to the fence, all the way to the border. And that is my ward. That's my neighborhood. That's where I was raised. My grandparents lived there. My mom lived there. She was raised there, all her family. She was born in what is today my front yard, as I mentioned in the video. So I'm from there, and my grandmother was born there as well. My dad was born outside of town in a little pueblito called Pueblo Nuevo in Spanish, but in English it's called Purteville. So yeah, and this is my home. This is my family that we're talking about. Congressional District 2, from south to north, east and west. I've patrolled 4/6 of Cochise County, trained and patrolled 4 of the 6 areas that our agency splits up the county. My parents pastored in Bisbee and in Douglas as well. I was kind of raised also in Fort Huachuca, where I worked as a GS civilian as well at the only joint command that's there, JITC. So I was raised at the Army Bliss Hospital there on Fort Huachuca, as I was an asthmatic. I was born an asthmatic and overcame a lot of things to join the military. Enlisted in the Navy in Tucson, was married in Tucson, had my firstborn in Tucson, graduated from 3 Tucson-based schools, the U of A, go Wildcats, all right? And then Pima Community College. I actually walk next week. I walk in Pima's commencement. Graduated with an AAS in law enforcement this December, and graduated alongside with my wife. My wife graduated from Cochise College in elementary ed, so she's a future teacher. I support our teachers, by the way. Support the walk-ins, not the walkouts. The walk-ins, but not the walkouts. But anyways, yeah, so family. And then also, as you mentioned, I graduated from the Tucson Police Academy, where I served as president of my class. Tucson Police Department runs that academy. And they saw fit, they saw something within me to lead that class, representing 16 different agencies from across Arizona, New Mexico, and Utah. And so for 16 of the 17 weeks, I led my class all the way to graduation. And these are future, at the time, future police officers, future sheriff deputies, future IA officers with DOC. And so they're now on the streets patrolling on our highways and byways, and also representing us in whatever agency that they work for as law enforcement officers.
Danny, that's a lot of stuff. Like, how old are you? About 150? He's done a lot. My goodness, and you don't look very old.
43, but a lot of that was done simultaneously. So I was actually representing at 5 different levels simultaneously, 5 different governmental levels, from the federal government as a naval officer as well, in charge of departments in the Navy, in the reserve at the station that I'm at right now, which is right outside of Wilmot Gate, Davis-Monthan. At the state level, of course, as a peace officer, I'm certified with jurisdiction across the state, and I'll maintain that certification. I'm taking a leave of absence right now, announcing it here from the sheriff's office so that I can concentrate on this run. But I represented the state in court. You are the representative of the state, and you are enforcing state law. When I took an oath not only to the Constitution as a peace officer, but I took an oath to the state's Constitution as well. So enforcing the state's laws at the state level. At the regional level, you read that I represented Douglas and Cochise County and 4 different counties on the executive board of the Southeastern Arizona Governments Organization. And as such, I was with county administrators, county boards of supervisors, city mayors, city vice mayors, city councilmen, and private representatives, and dealing with the planning for those 4 different counties, our southeastern corner. So I've already worked as a representative at that level. And then, of course, at the county level, as a sheriff deputy, patrolling much of Cochise County, 6,000 square miles. I know that county like the back of my hand, have patrolled the highways, have patrolled the roads, the dirt roads, have patrolled up into the mountains, Rucker Canyon, where I went as a boy to fish, Cochise Stronghold, all of that area. Bisbee, patrolled the border, patrolled the port of entry in Naco. So that's at the regional level, and then at the city level, of course, as a vice mayor, I represented the city of Douglas, and I led meetings. This hand has held the gavel. I've actually led meetings, represented the city throughout the whole county, mayor and managers luncheons, across the line in our sister city of Agua Prieta, Sonora, Mexico. I was there to represent the city and the mayor in his absence.
And obviously you're bilingual.
And I try to be, right? I try to be. Okay. But then, and also in the school district, at that level as well. I'm in the classroom at least once a week. I substitute teach, but I taught long-term on 3 or 4 different occasions. I was the teacher. And interestingly enough, my wife, who was a special ed IA, special education instructional assistant, she was actually working alongside me in my classroom. She would bring her one-on-one students into our classroom. So a shout out to all our paraprofessionals who may be listening or watching. You do a lot of hard work, and I do agree that they need to get pay raises.
That is a lot of experience. Now, because of where you come, and I've been to Sierra Vista, I really like Sierra Vista. Mm-hmm. It reminds me, I'm from Las Cruces, New Mexico. It reminds me a lot of that region as it was a while back when I was growing up, because it's still small, very conservative. People are very down to earth. I really like it. And even, I think the elevation is about the same, 3,900. Yes. But because of that, then you have a very unique experience of the border and the problems there.
Firsthand.
So what special kind of legislation would you forge ahead for, and why? What makes you stronger than the other 3, I found out, candidates that are out there?
Yes. So there's 4 of us now. One recently dropped out to run for a state Senate seat. But I'm the only one born and raised in the district that's running on the Republican side, born and raised. Also, the only one with elected experience and with a great conservative track record. So in a predominantly Democrat town, God bless, I love my city. It's just the politics that's there. But I have a proven record of conservatism on the councilship.
And welcome to the Latino Republican Club here.
Hey, there you go.
Bring us more,
It's great to be kindred. And you know what? We're going to work on that. And that's one of the points that I said at the outset. We're going to win. And part of that winning strategy is not through compromising my values at all. Anyone who knows me knows, and who's followed me on Facebook, on my personal page, they know my politics. They know who I am. But I'm trusted. It's not a matter of courting Democrats or anything like that. No. I've already won them over at the local level because they've seen me in action. They trust me. They respect me. They know my family. They know my wife. They know my sons. We're part of the family. We're La Familia. That's our pueblo. That's our community. And so they're not going to vote for me because I've compromised my values as a conservative. No. They're going to cross over because they know the person. They know me. And they trust me. And that's how we're going to win. We're going to win over crossover votes first, and then we're going to win over crossover voters later. And it takes to be in the office that they listen to you and they see you. You know, they've already seen me as an elected official. I've proven myself as the vice mayor, as a city councilman of not only any ward, by the way, but the ward that has the border, the ward that has the port of entry in Douglas, which is our busiest port of entry in CD2, and also the busiest shopping district, as well as the first international airport in the Americas. That's all in my ward.
Didn't know that.
Yes, that's the barrio. That's the first 5 to 8 streets in Douglas. That's my pueblito. That is my family. And my family is not only Douglas, it's Cochise County. It's the eastern side of Pima. I lived at 4 or 5 different addresses, and they all fall within CD2 in Tucson. 4 or 5 different street addresses.
Did you plan that?
All in CD2. I mean, no, it's just the way things worked out. You know, and this is my second time being stationed there as a reservist. In both occasions, my unit supported, in some capacity, Davis-Monthan Air Force Base. So I'm connected to every single center of gravity within Cochise County, whether it's Davis-Monthan, whether it's Fort Huachuca, whether it's Cochise County, whether it's the school system there. You know, I mentioned that my wife graduated from Cochise College. At 79 and 83, my parents are second semester Cochise College students.
Oh, very
And
cool.
they're going on the same campus with my 19-year-old. and my 14-year-old is a bulldog, you know? So we're connected to every center of gravity. And I think that that's going to be really important when my most likely competitor on the Democrat side is Ann Kirkpatrick. God bless her. If she's listening, I've told people on several occasions, I look forward to having coffee with her up in Flagstaff when we send her back.
Wow. Okay. All right. So we still have another segment to go
Sure.
here with candidate Danny Morales running Congressional District 2 for Congress. And I don't want you to go away. And we're going to have the cocotazos and the whole enchiladas. We're going to tell you what that's about, Danny.
Cool.
So
Perfecto.
please stay with us. I'm Alice Lara with
Jorge.
here on the Chips and Salsa Show. Get your guac on. Don't go away.
Laid off and trying to keep our little kids from realizing that mommy and daddy haven't eaten in a while.
Roger, from California. I'm grateful we could afford our son's surgery. I'm nervous that now we can't really afford food.
Daniel from California. Choosing whether to pay the rent or pay to fix the car to get to work doesn't leave us with much at all. Now we can't even pay for meals.
Donna from Louisiana. The storm just hit, and we went from donating to the food bank to needing it.
Keisha from South Carolina. I've been skipping meals so my 2 kids can eat, but filling up on water doesn't really work.
Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
People are always talking about the stock market, always looking to invest in a good opportunity, something with the potential to grow. So what if you could invest in the future of kids, like a stock? Not the kind of stock that's about taking money, but a stock for social change. A whole new kind of investment called Better Futures from UNCF. Your investment can help students go to college, which ends up making the future better for everybody. Visit uncf.org/invest. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. A message from UNCF and the Ad Council.
Today we decided to walk to school. The light counted. 15, 14,
41, 31, 13. We
took a left on Carroll Street. Danny's smart, but he gets distracted.
I
Realized he forgot his homework. I hope he doesn't
don't
have
have
another bad day at school.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. That's why there's Understood.org, a free resource for the parents of the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues. Go from misunderstanding to Understood.org. Brought to you by Understood and the Ad Council.
And it's a beautiful day here at the Search Engine and Digital Marketing Race in beautiful Tempe, Arizona. The horses lining up at the gate now, waiting for the bell. And they're off. It's just a two-way race today between your business brand and your relentless competition. Oh, but wait a minute. You've just hired War Horse Agency for your digital marketing and are quickly taking the lead in your market. Well, hang on to your seat, though. Your competition started their own Google AdWords pay-per-click campaign and are trying to catch up to you now. Good for you, though. They have no idea what they're doing. But don't worry yet. Your digital marketing jockey at Warhorse Agency tirelessly regains the lead with a great viral Facebook ad as well as your own Google SEO and pay-per-click campaign ran by a Warhorse, true leading generating professional. Holy smokes, your business just got a major lead. You're on the first page of Google now, and as they approach the finish line, your business wins. Thanks, Warhorse Agency, for another smashing victory. Contact us today for your free digital marketing evaluation. Visit us at www.gowarhorse.com today.
And we are back here with the Chips and Salsa Show. This has been a fast and furious, but a good Chips and Salsa show, right? I'm Alice Lara with
Don Jorge.
We're here every Saturday at 4 p.m. We hope you tell your friends about us. We are Latino Republicans. We don't apologize for it. Sorry, we don't. We have great guests, and today we have the thrill of having Danny Morales with us, and you can go to his website, Danny DJ Morales. That's MORALES.com. You can find him on Facebook. You can find him on Twitter. Danny, you want to tell us about a couple of events that are coming up?
Sure. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention and give a shout out to some of the events that are happening in Cochise County. Starting off with this Friday the 18th, going into Saturday the 19th, Douglas Days. It's we've had this celebration now for the last several years, and so we invite you to come check it out, look at the booths, and get involved in the bed races that we have there. So it's a great time. And then the Wilcox
bed races.
The bed races.
Okay.
We actually have
like the monkeys on the.
they actually put and they enter in teams to race beds with the contestant on the bed, and they push it across the finish line. It's pretty cool, actually. Cool. And then, of course, the Wilcox Wine Festival. Wilcox has become wine country, in case you don't know that. Saturday the 19th through Sunday the 20th. We gotta go to
that one.
Yeah.
Check it out.
We're winos.
Yeah, absolutely. Check it out. I think the soil composition there is like Bordeaux, France, is what I've heard. It's volcanic. And then if you could go ahead and put this far into the future on your calendar, Rex Allen Days, the 4th, 5th, and 6th of October. Rex Allen, of course, famous, Western cowboy. Singer, songwriter, cowboy, Disney, I think vocal artist, I think is what he was involved in, vocal talent. So, yeah. So those are the events I just had to say.
Well, nicely done. And I just want to mention, just like when we had Dr. Kelly Ward on here, maybe you don't live in this particular congressional district, but he will represent you, even if you live in Texas and you're watching us, because if you gets to Congress, you represent all the people. So if you'd like to support him, contact him, or maybe you have people that live in his district, let them know about Danny, write him a check, go to his Facebook site, say, way to go, Danny, whatever. Because, it's very difficult to run for office, and a lot of money has to be raised. And even at a small level it is. So I just want to encourage people
Can
to
I say
that.
something real quick? Okay. We're definitely a grassroots campaign. It's from the heart. I have a campaign manager here to my left. Awesome man of God, awesome man of conservative values. Thank you so much, Sean, from the bottom of my heart, bottom of our family's heart as well. But I have great advisors, people like Alex Deli, who's a contracts manager at Raytheon, amazing man. People like James Dunn, prayers for his dad. Great social media expert, and I've got my parents behind me, got my wife behind me, my boys behind me, canvassing for me. Thank you to all of our supporters. Just a shout out to all of you. God bless you. Love you.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, now you're so lucky because you get to be part of our next really fun segment that we do every week. It's our cocotazos and our whole enchiladas. George, tell us what a cocotazo is. Do you know what one is, Danny?
Cocotazo, to be honest, no.
Okay, you're going to find out.
In a Puerto Rican custom, a cocotazo is when you get out of line, you say something, and your parent goes behind your head and just kind of...
Oh, got it. Okay.
And now, in the Mexican culture,
it's a chancla.
It was a chanclazo.
Yeah, that's our version of chanclazo.
Yeah. So,
or the belt.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. So you guys are Boricuas then? Okay.
I'm Boricua.
Yeah, he's Puerto Rican, but my heritage is Mexican.
So she throws a slipper, and I just...
But I always tease it, we never got the chancla because my dad just had to look at his belt. We behaved.
Oh, yes.
We behaved,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yep,
Right.
absolutely.
Incidentally.
And there's nothing wrong with raising kids like way. They turn out to be respectful citizens, and
Good and
nowadays,
fine Americans. Absolutely.
So we have a Cocotazo nominations, and that's the ones that we put on there with like really crazy people that think they should get a Cocotazo.
During the week, and we always have to thank our producer Sonia, Secret Sonia, for putting these together. So we're going to go through them, and then you get to vote on them. By the way, I want to give a shout out to my brother who's visiting, my brother Ernest, who we call Güero because he does not look like me. He is a Güero.
He's a Güero.
He looks Irish, but he's visiting with his lovely wife, Yolanda. Doesn't like to be called Yolanda. Yoli, excuse me. But we're having a great time, and after the show, we're going to go and keep celebrating more with family, familia. Okay, so here are the Cocotazo nominations. So, Sean, you can play too if you'd like, all right? Sure. Number 1. And if you'd like to find these chipsters, just go to our Facebook page and we collect them during the week. Number 1 is a mystery pooper on high school property. Turns out to be the superintendent.
Wow.
Okay. Number 2, students at Washington University start petition to remove offensive Colonials mascot. Did you see that one?
Yes.
I think that guy.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was pretty amazing. Number 3. Congresswoman Maxine Waters, I wish I could do Maxine Waters, talk so high, has a message for President Trump. Please resign. She's Miss Impeachment Woman of the world. Number 4, there is a new challenge. Okay, this one, man, I discovered it by accident. Teens are doing. They are burning themselves with spray deodorant. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we only had 4 Cocotazos. I had family in town, as you can tell. That's all we came up with. George, you want to go first? Which one do you vote for?
I think number 1, that
the pooper.
They found out it was the superintendent of the school that was going around pooping at the school. It was like,
that's a cacatazo.
What a bunch of.
That's good. I think he gets a cocotazo and a chanclazo.
There you go.
I like the cacatazo. Yeah, that's good. All righty. Let's see. Hey, Sean, you want to go?
I'm going to go with the students at Washington University petitioning to remove the offensive colonial mascot. It is George Washington University.
Yeah, give me a break.
I don't know. I'm afraid to ask what the mascot they would like to have. So, yeah.
All right, let's go to Sexy Steve over there. Steve, we want to pick one?
It's got to be Maxine. I mean, she not only resigned, she went off on a fellow congressman on the floor, which you're not supposed to do, and just went ballistic on him on C-SPAN. And he's like, you're being disrespectful, and she just like berated him right there on the floor.
And we almost have her nominated, I swear, every other week, George. She does something to get on this list. Okay, so I'm going to go next, and then you're going to have to be the tiebreaker, Danny.
Sure.
I'm going to go with number 4 because, come on, spray deodorant? Come on, man. Oh, there's so many. It's hard to choose. But I almost wanted to choose the mystery pooper just because Danny said it was a cacatazo because that was pretty good. Okay. All right, Danny, you break the tie.
I'm going to have to say number 4, and I'll give you my reasons. I have a lot of hope for our millennials. I really do. And we need to reintroduce conservative values into our classrooms. We absolutely do. To save us from a segment, I'll just say a segment of the millennial population who are burning themselves with spray deodorant, eating Tide Pods, and then snorting condoms. So something has happened since you and I were in high school that they're doing these things. So God bless them. There's hope. There is hope.
There is hope.
But we need to get in our classrooms. We need to volunteer in our classrooms and teach respect for authority, respect for our Constitution, respect for our flag, respect for our president. Hello. All of those things.
Here. So the winner is the spray deodorant and the teens. Oh, got it. Okay, very good. All right, now we do something positive because we were doing just the cocotazos. We thought, that's always so negative. And there's a lot of good stuff that people miss. Okay, so we have 7 whole enchiladas. All right, are we going to go? I think we had time. We can do all these, right? Oh, okay, I'm going to go really fast. Number 1, Oliver North to become NRA president. Woo! Rudy Giuliani is number 2. Demands that President Trump be given the Hillary treatment by Mueller. Number 3, Texas police have rescued 341 children, anti-trafficking training. They hope it goes nationwide. Number 4, 17-year-old black girl's mind is blown after encounter with Confederate flag guy. I love that one too. Sarah Sanders, this is number 5. She flattens Obama, Hillary, and Kerry over Iran. Oh, that was so good. Have you watched her come back to say? Okay, number 6, Gina Haspel roasts Democrat for comparing CIA agents to terrorists, and she's the Homeland Secretary. Okay, and number 7, DHS Secretary gives Democrat Senator a lesson on following the law. Danny, we're going to go first with you, put you on the spot.
Wow, I have to. That's a real hard list.
It is.
Especially with such powerful ladies there, the 5, 6, and 7, right? I'd have to say number 6. Gina is a hero, and what has happened to her, unfortunately, being trashed, she's a hero. She is a hero, and all the people that were involved in that unit are heroes in my book.
Okay, so let's win for them. Okay, Sean, let's go to you.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with the Texas Police rescuing the 341 children. This trafficking is evil at its core, and I would love to see this nationwide. These kids don't deserve any of this.
Yeah, that was good.
That's a hard one. Yeah,
Steve, what do you say?
Oh, decisions. I have to, after Sarah getting berated last week at the...
that dinner?
Yeah, the dinner. I got to give it to Sarah for the comeback.
And she was so good. She was so good. She said, well, you know, these people, why should we take their foreign advice? It didn't work too well. It was awesome, man.
We're in the mess because
it was awesome. George?
Well, I had 2. One was number 1 and the other one was number 4. But I'm going to go for number 4 because I saw that one. I read that one. That girl saw the colonial flag when the guy pulled over to help them. And she thought the worst. And that guy offered to fix her tire, fix the tire. She was black. He was white. He did not use color or nothing. He was there to help. And it blew her mind that a guy in the Confederate flag would stop to help a black person. And because of the stereotypes that they have out there, she didn't expect that. Her mind was blown. She got on social media, and she explained that the guy helped them, and he didn't have to, but he helped them.
It was great.
Yeah. That's
awesome. That was a great one. Okay, I'm the tiebreaker. I made myself the tiebreaker. I'm going to go Sarah Sanders. And it's because we need to step up and be like Sarah Sanders and call these guys out. They're all great, but she's the winner. Sarah Sanders flattens Obama, Hillary, and Kerry over Iran. We got to say goodbye. Sarah. Thank you, Daniel Munoz, for being here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sean, for being here.
Oh, you're very welcome.
George, Steve.
Thanks for having us.
I'm Alice. Be back again next Saturday here for the Chips and Salsa Show when we do it again on Center Right Radio. Have a wonderful weekend and happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.